Let's review the bold predictions that I made a few days ago before the webcam RLE occurred. Let's see where I was right and where I was wrong. One of the claims I made was that 3 Murios on the good symbol would make top cuts. Was I right? You betcha I was right. But I wasn't even quite right enough. There was actually 5 Murios on the good symbol that made top cuts. Another claim is that I said the life symbol was the best symbol in the game. It would usurp the order symbol as the best symbol of the game. And that 5 decks on the life symbol would top, and I had them all on different characters. I had a Momo, I had an Asui topping on life, I had a Overhaul topping on life. Was I right? This one I was horribly, horribly wrong on. In fact, there wasn't a single life deck that made top cuts. I got absolutely nothing right on this. Now, there were quite a few life decks that lost in the very last round that were on win-and-ends, and I know there were a couple of those that were life overhauls that could have made top cuts. So, was this an anomaly, or was this the life symbol was overrated? I'm leaning on that it was an anomaly. There we go. I can say it. I'm leaning that this was kind of just a one-time blip and that the life symbol will be back next RLE. I'm not 100% ready to take the L on this one, but I have to for this event. Next, I said that Trueform All Might is unplayable in the current meta because of all of the Mirios and the life decks that would be out there. And I think I was pretty right on this one, although I'm not sure that Trueform All Might really showed up. I know there was an All Might 1 trying to Detroit smash people, but I'm not sure the Trueform version of the deck even showed up to the RLE. So I'm going to go ahead and choose to take the win. I also said that Nomu would not top cut. I said that the Nomus that were topping this last season, that the decks were pretty basic and that people know what Nomu is up to, and so they know how to play against the deck. And I was flat wrong on this. In fact, Nomu even came in second place. So I keep on doubting Nomu, and he keeps on doing much better than I expect. Now, TC had a really cool variation on Nomu where he was taking advantage of the fake six diffs that Nomu gets with Calorie Counter and Muscle Mauler. And when I was watching him play, I realized that he was playing Nomu at a really, really high level and much higher than I played Nomu when I played Nomu several months ago. So I might need to just rethink my opinion on Nomu. Next, I said that Deku 4 would not make top cuts, but that Deku 2 would. And this was a pretty hot take because Deku 2, I don't believe, has ever made top cuts at a regional license exam. And I was right on this one. Although I was wrong in the sense that I thought it was going to be the life symbol that Deku 2 would top with, but Deku 2 still topped with the good symbol. I said that Mirio Togata would emerge the undisputed top character in the game after the RLE, and I think I was wrong on this one. Even though 5 Mirios made top cuts, there seems to be this narrative emerging that he's good, but he's not great. That he's just an A tier character that's pretty easy to pilot, and so it wasn't surprising that 5 topped, but the 5 that topped were all kind of lower seeds than the non-Mirios that topped, and I think 3 of the 5, or maybe it was 4 of the 5, lost in the first round. Only 1 Mirio got to top 4, and then they lost in top 4. So I think there's this narrative out there right now that Mirio's not as great as we expected, despite having 5 make top cuts. And I think that this is a false narrative and one that should not be listened to. I think that this weekend, every deck was running a lot of Mirio tech in their sideboards. Everybody was prepared for this deck, and I think that went into the Mirios having a harder time. Once you got to the top tables playing Mirio, your opponents were ready for you. Nobody was surprised by your deck at the top tables. So I think this is a narrative that's going to have to be squashed over the next few weeks. Maybe at Gen Con, Mirio decks can can iterate a few more times and come up with a better list that can defeat the anti-Mirio tech that's out there right now. Yeah, I said Tokoyami, Recovery Girl, and Ochako 1 would not top. And I was right on this one. Tokoyami is still just missing in action. We haven't seen him top a single event all year. Ochako 1, just momentum-based strategy is just not going to work. And then Recovery Girl, I didn't expect Recovery Girl to actually show up. And I know that a few Recovery Girls did, at least a few, and she still didn't top. So maybe that's the webcam problem of Recovery Girl. Next, I said that Nejire would be the third set 5 character to top cut. I had Overhaul and Mirio both in my S tier on my top 100 character rankings. So I expected them to top, and then I had Nejire and Deku 4 in my A+ tier. Although, over the last few weeks, I had steadily gone down on my ranking of Deku 4. So I would not put him in the A+ tier today. So I expected Nejire to be the third set 5 character to top cut, and I was wrong on this one. The surprise set 5 character making it top cuts was Ejiro Kirishima, who gets to play this really cool foundation destruction game plan and just say, I can build more than you because I'm a 7-hander and I'm on these symbols that are pretty good at foundation ramp. So I thought this list was a very, very cool list. Next, I said that Void Eraserhead would win the entire event on the back of using Rejuvenating Smash. And I was right that Eraserhead won the event. And you know, Void Eraserhead using Rejuvenating Smash got 3rd place. But I was also wrong that it would be the Void Punch package. Instead, it was the Death Twisting Azure Inferno Fierce Whirlwind package that Jose so expertly took to the finals, and I don't think he ever lost a round this weekend. I think that's 2 RLEs in a row, both last season and this season, that Jose hasn't lost a single round in. Just insane. Just an amazing player. So, was I right? Was I wrong on this one? Truth is somewhere in the middle. I'm going to go ahead and give myself 75% credit. But feel free to call me wrong if you want. I will say the one thing that surprised me is I expected only one Eraserhead to make top cuts, and that they would then go on to win, because I knew, I put in my video on how to beat Mirio that Eraserhead was just a great meta call for this weekend's RLE. I didn't play Eraserhead because I don't have the practice on Eraserhead to justify playing him in a major event. I need to put in a few months of practice before I would run a character like Eraserhead. So that's why I didn't show up with Eraserhead. I showed up with Mirio because I've been practicing with Mirio for the last month, so I felt really, really comfortable on that character. But I didn't expect many Eraserheads to show up, and a lot of Eraserheads showed up, and 3 made it into top cuts, 2 on the Void symbol, and then Jose on the Death symbol. So that was a surprise to me to see just how many Eraserheads made it to the top tables. And then I even played a Deku 4 who was siding into Eraserhead on the Void symbol. So that was kind of a surprise to me, and I'm really interested to see if Eraserhead continues to see representation like that in Gen Con. I think there's a chance that Eraserhead's representation even goes up, just because of how truly good the matchup with Mirio is. And how Jose made Eraserhead look really cool. Especially a lot of people don't like to play these long control games, but the Death Eraserhead list that Jose ran was just a really, really cool list that could take you down on turn 2 or turn 3, no sweat, if you left the door open for him and he drew the cards. So that's where I was right. That's where I was wrong. I feel pretty good about my predictions. This life symbol was certainly a major whiff, but I'm choosing to believe it's an anomaly. I'm not ready to totally take the loss. And I'm also not ready to take the loss that Mirio can't win an event and that he's not the best character in the game. I'm still pretty convinced he's the best character in the game, and that the Mirio list that topped this weekend were pretty diverse in terms of builds. So we're obviously not at an optimized deck build yet, and I am not so prideful as to say that the list that I was running was the optimized deck list. In fact, it probably was far from it. I was really, really impressed by Caleb's unique list that he ran this weekend. So we still got some iterations to do on Mirio. I think he can only go up from here. This was a really good starting point. And that's going to do it for today. I hope you enjoyed this recap of the RLE and enjoyed looking at my predictions and my analysis.